we had some feedback on the whole thing we talked about last week about walking arm in arm on a first date. And if, for those of you who didn't see the show, basically I just asked Nicole and Sarah what they thought about if somebody grabbed their arm to walk, you know, sort of linked arms on a first date, and if they saw a problem with that, if they thought it was cute, what they thought about it. You guys at first were okay with it, no problem, whatever. And then we kind of talked about it. I don't know if you guys changed your mind at all, but basically, here's the reason why I brought it up, is why I asked. I'd been on a date once a while ago with somebody that I kind of really wasn't really feeling it with. Mm-hmm. And we're walking down the street, and she grabs my arm, and we're walking arm in arm down the street, and I was kind of thinking to myself, I'm not really into this. And I felt a little uncomfortable. I felt like she was a little presumptuous with that, and I really didn't want to do that. And I was then thinking to myself, I hope I don't see anybody that I know, because it's going to be misleading.
Right.
Somebody I know, somebody that maybe I had been on a date with early, you know, not earlier in the night, but
sure,
at another point or whatever. So I just didn't like it, and that's why I wanted to bring it up to you guys. So I've actually, I think I was telling you this on the air, off the air. I don't even know what. My whole life is on the air, so I don't even know. That I'd been getting some comments in my personal life about it. So we also got some comments on Facebook that I wanted to bring
I would
up.
love to hear what people thought.
Okay. So Kira says, I never really looked at arm in arm as anything more than a friendly gesture. After this debate, I'll refrain unless they are my BFF. What is BFF?
Best friend forever.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's what Kira says. Nicole says, possessive arm holding? Really? If you had so much fun on the first date of the week, cancel the date with girl number 2 and go out with the first one again. She actually also had posted something similar to that, and it got deleted, but it said, you are crazy. So basically, she's calling me crazy.
You're crazy?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
For that, feeling the way I did about that. Somebody else privately said, someone grabbed my hand on the second date, and I hated it. I was hoping I would not see anyone I knew. I only hold hands with a boyfriend. And someone else thought, a woman, thought you guys were lying, or at least not being honest with yourselves when you said you would not have minded, say, for example, seeing a guy that you went out with walking arm in arm with somebody else, that whole thing.
No, I said that I kind of minded.
Okay, okay.
And watching it back, I actually, you know, even was more like, okay, no, that's true. I think that the question was kind of confusing because in general, if someone is just holding hands down the street, no, I don't think that that's a big deal.
Right.
But when you frame it like, oh, you just went out with this guy, and then you see them a day later with another woman being all cuddly and cute, of course, it's not like the best feeling in the world.
Right.
Is it a deal breaker? For me, no, but for some people, sure, it could be. So.
Yeah, I don't think it would be for me either, but I think it would raise questions or start a conversation that maybe you shouldn't have at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? And especially, you know, it'd be one thing if you're out with somebody and you do it, you actually like the person, you know,
right.
But it's misleading, I think, if you're in a situation where you're with somebody and you're not really that into it. I think that was what I was trying to kind of get across.
So it's an interesting question, though, because what do you do if someone makes a physical gesture and you don't? It's
kind of like, I mean, like maybe a woman would, how she would feel if a guy goes to kiss her. Does she kiss back to kind of be polite? Does she pull away? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, what do you do in that? Like, what do you do in that case?
You know,
we
I
can
guess
demonstrate
it depends.
right now.
You want to demonstrate my awkward
Can I have a
dash? That's a really good question. For me, I think it's different because I'm a pretty affectionate person, so things like linking arms are, for me, that's pretty, you know, benign. But I don't know. I guess I don't make that first physical move.
Oh, no, I know you don't, but let's say a guy did with you. So let's say it's the end of a date. Okay. You kind of had a lukewarm time. You're not really that into it.
Okay.
And he goes in for a kiss. How do you handle it?
I think that women have to be really careful, and it's how you present yourself with your body language. If you're face-to-face with a man and you're making eye contact and you're smiling, he's probably going to kiss you.
Right.
If you reach out with your arms or like lean away and you still get your cheek, you know, you have to be able to participate in this to make it a little more clear.
Right,
Otherwise,
yeah.
You're setting yourself up for something you might not want.
Definitely. And I think that as difficult as it is for a guy to figure out, should I kiss or should I not, I think it's just as difficult for a woman to figure out how do I handle this situation if he does something I don't want, if he tries and I don't want to,
Absolutely.
in a polite way.
Absolutely. And it's kind of an awkward situation, especially at the end of a first date. And I think everyone feels a little awkward.
Right.
It's pretty rare that it's some seamless, magical moment unless you're
Right.
very, very lucky. So if you're feeling a little awkward, it's okay. Most people do.
I used to try to get so trashed that I don't even know what I'm doing.
another
So
option.
then the next day I'm like, oh, that worked out well or it didn't.
That's why I always suggest at least having a drink on a
Right.
date. Relax you a little.
So and the whole arm thing, it's the same kind of thing where if somebody tries it, do you pull away? Do you not? Do you just
You
go
do the
with it?
spaghetti arm and you kind of let it.
Yeah, I think you kind of. Well, I mean, to be honest, what I
What did you do?
did was, I did it for a while and I kind of looked for a reason to whatever it was,
Yep. And
I think I picked up a piece of trash
did
and
she
threw it
pick
away.
up on that? Did she
I don't
try
think
again?
so. No.
See, yeah.
Well, I don't think she tried again, but I don't think she picked up that it was a. It was a thing. I'm smooth like that.
You're very
So,
smooth.
Yeah, I'm.
And that's part of having manners. I mean, you don't want to be like, don't touch me.
Right.
on a
Exactly.
date.
Exactly.
It's tricky.
Anyway, we love hearing from you guys. We love that kind of feedback. So this is how you can get in touch with us. Sarah, would you like to? I mean, I bet you people are more likely to contact us.
Please
If
contact
you
us.
how about in the southern? Can you turn on the
I
southern
could
accent?
do a little southern accent. 877 pulse, which is what for? No, I can't even read this.
Oh God!
No cameras
When
in
I
my
turn on
way.
the southern, no, you know what? I'm
See,
not
I
gonna
just
make it.
lost like
You
7
did.
IQ points. Now I
did.
can't read. I
If you
can't.
refer to 8th grade as your senior year.
Hey.
No, I'm just kidding.
Is it the number underneath?
It's 877 Pulse 411.
Oh.
It's also on
I can't
Twitter
count.
at one word the Pulse and Single Mentality, one word.
I really want someone to call in,
And
so
email
y'all are watching.
single.mentality@yahoo.com or post on our Facebook page. Just
Contact
find Single Mentality.
That was the worst reading
We're
ever.
going to work on that for next time.